All right, everybody, back in the shop again today. Take a break from the crazy train and get back to doing some of the things that we love to do. And just in case some of you are wondering, this is my Tektronix 2235A. It is a 2-channel oscilloscope. That means that I can feed 2 signals into this and do relative comparisons. I can examine things like the wave formation and also some of the harmonics or the secondary, tertiary frequencies that are produced for comparison purposes. This is my HP, the 333A distortion analyzer right here that tries to assess the quality of a stream. It's also good in getting quality matches and things like that. So we are in the shop today. We are back on the Yamaha here. So what I would like to do today is kind of try to remove this front panel. We're going to have to do some cleanup there. These Yamahas are just notoriously difficult. They sound great, but they're just notoriously difficult to to deal with. So I'm going to carefully work to remove this front panel. Of course, ultimately we're going to be cleaning it up, but there's no reason that things have to be that complicated when it comes to running an amplifier. And for me, this A960II, it just goes too far in here with all the phono selectors for the impedances and the capacitance on that. Yeah, it's just too much here. And I think as a result that these units become less desirable than simple units just because they become so non-functional because there's so many aspects of it. The mechanical electrical interface that I've talked about for years, or the areas where you have mechanical things like here, you can see that they just tend to wear out, those connections. It's not the electronics that goes bad in these things, it's the electronic, it's the interfaces with mechanical. I particularly want to get down in this section where the switching is for the main power and the speakers. This is another really legendary bad area with the Yamahas, and I'm still not totally convinced that I'm getting all the connectivity that I want to get out of there. So I think for this, this knob here, to figure out how to remove some of these knobs and get some of my very fine screwdrivers and get some of these paddle switches off of here, and then maybe we'll be able to see what we got behind here, because this is just not fun for me to work on Yamahas. All right, got that back on. That's cleaned up pretty nicely there. Sounded pretty good. I'm not going to do a lot more on this unit, and I'll tell you the reason why. Number one, I want to get a real good owner's manual for it, which I can get, no problem. And number two, I don't have a lot of interest in working on Yamahas. They're generally very well built. There's not a lot of things that go wrong. They use very high quality. You can see the Elna electrolytics in there. There's not a lot that goes wrong with these units. Everything's lubricated. Everything's great. This has a very nice tuner with it. I don't see any problems with that. So it's going to make a nice combo unit. And we'll be able to do a listening on the wall of sound. I'm going to put the units back together and stack them. And then we'll just say farewell to this, because we do have other videos to get to with, we still have the Sony in the box down there. And like I said, this is I don't particularly enjoy Yamahas. They're built forever, but if you have to work on them, there's a real price to pay.
New Halsey called Back Love on Alex.
Just a young gun with the
Sounded pretty good, huh?
and yeah, I'm still afraid to
flow. What started out as friendship has grown.
And keep radio free. Trust me, nobody wants a coin-operated radio. Why can't you be true? You just start back doing the thing you used to do.
Or number, and it comes up, and gosh, they are so clever, Rod, that all of a sudden that you may think that you're calling it. Now, would you like to make sure that there's nothing going on with your house network? Is that there's.
That's going to be a wrap up on the Yamaha CT410-2 tuner. Didn't even have to crack the top of that. And also the A960 Mark II Yamaha amplifier. The big issue with these products was they were sold in a kit. They were shipped to me in a kit. And the assumption was something was wrong with the tuner. Well, because the amplifier doesn't work. Sometimes people think it's a tuner problem when it's not. So there's two pieces of the Yamaha over there. Not sure quite what I'm going to do with it. I do want to let the person that passed it along, let them know that it was a simple fix of freeing up some relay that was stuck for a mechanical reason on there, and lubricated all the controls and everything. This is never a product I would have really on my own wall of sound. Reason being, it's a little outside of the realm of the dates that I like to work with when I'm doing restorations. It's still a very nice unit. Don't get me wrong. This will have years of much good listening ahead to it. But as far as a total restoration, when I have a Sony STR7065, I'm in the middle of working on and have to get a new amp board for that. This is just not my bailiwick. It's not the kind of thing that I usually enjoy working on. But the solution was relatively simple. Get the deoxid contact cleaner on as many parts as possible and allow it to work its magic. I want to thank you for being along. This is really a wonderful tuner. I can't wait to do some investigation and figure out what this calibration function is on here. That really intrigues me. So as usual, I love having you in the shop with me. It's always a lot of fun, sometimes frustration too, but there's nothing like restoring vintage audio equipment and getting it back to top-notch shape. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, I have playlists with dozens and dozens of restorations, from 1960 Motorola 21-tube stereo consoles you see in the house to, well, every Harman Kardons and Sonys and Fishers, everything under the sun. I love vintage audio. Please hit like, share, subscribe, and please comment. Thank you very much.